We're on day 7 of the project of overhauling the engine on the International 1066 tractor. Today we'll be possibly working on taking off the head. One thing that my dad had done before I got here was he wanted to see what this looked inside. This is the housing on the outside of the thermostat, so he's got that loose. He had taken it off and taken a look at it and then just loosely put it back on there again. So I'll go ahead and pull that off now. And then he took this oil line off. This was the one that I had loosened yesterday so I could get the valve cover off. Inside this housing here is a thermostat. One other thing I see my dad had done in the meantime was he loosened up this oil line as well. And then this wire here is leading to a thermostat. The next step will be getting the head bolts out. There's quite a few of them here, running down the length of the head. Realize that there's washers on there, and I'm making sure to pull the washer up with the bolt so I'm not dropping those down in the engine.
On
Oh, I see.
the floor there.
All the head bolts have been removed. And it is time now to take off the head. Here is the gasket between the head and the engine block. The next step to take in preparation for lifting off the engine head is to pry it loose.
It's usually pretty tight. You see that? Then you video that. Broke it loose. She's loose.
The head has been removed successfully, so that's been set aside on a piece of cardboard here. This is looking down at the engine block with the head removed. This is the gasket. This is looking down inside the cylinders. So 6 cylinders. This is the piston. And then here is along the edge, the sleeve. These are wet sleeves in this setup, which means the coolant comes right up against them and touches the sleeves. The next step is going to be removing the oil pan. Being really difficult to access the bolts up to the front there. So we're taking this piece of tin off here to access that.
That's the engineer, I guess.
We've been taking the bolts out along the edge. I'm going to leave this bolt in and then continue around. The reason we leave one in on each side is to hold the pan. And then when we're to the point of having all of them removed except those last two, then typically we would put a jack underneath the pan to hold it and then remove those last two bolts and then lower it slowly.
She landed on soft landing. Oh, that oil pan looks clean.
We're at the end of day 7. We didn't work on it as long as some of the other days, but we did accomplish quite a bit. We did successfully remove the head, and then also we got the oil pan off. On the next day of our project, we'll focus on taking the pistons out and then getting the sleeves out.